brother, like go to the bathroom or go to get some popcorn or make an obscene phone call, you better do it today, Jack, because, brother, Tuesday, Louisville, you're going to be handcuffed to my man, brother.
Yes, that's right. Tuesday, be there. Sometimes kind of hard when you're dealing with Schultz and Condrey to get in a word straight away and edgewise. Well, that was the way it was with referees. A match took place last, I don't know, it was a week, something like that ago, and Dennis Condrey and David Schultz went against the Gibsons. Now, here was a situation that I think brings up a very interesting one because it's controversial. I had a lot of people talk to me about it. It was a question of where the referee had been addled. The wrong hands, in our opinion, and I think as you will see, and we're going to show the tape, clearly shows that the Gibsons had the match won. But the CWA, in reviewing this entire situation, and of course there was an appeal from the promoters to at least take a look at it, consideration. CWA has come down with this kind of an edict on it, and it makes a lot of sense too. That the stipulation of saying let's take a look at a tape and then reverse a decision, that it is their decision that in the future, that until all of the sports, the football and baseball and basketball and everybody goes to an instant replay or a review of tape to make official decisions, that this will no longer take place. Now, when you look at this, you will say, well, that was not fair. Okay, put it as not fair, but it is going to stand as a win for Schultz and Condrey in it. We want you to see what happens in there, and I think you will appreciate the fact that the Gibsons do, in fact, have a claim for a victory, although officially it's going to stand because tape is not going to be the arbitrator. Let's roll the tape and take a look at it right now and see what happens. David Schultz tie it up. Boy, Schultz is a big one. So you don't really realize till you're standing up next to him how big this guy is. David's put on about 15 pounds. Dr. D tags out to Condrey. Condrey planning a knee lift on Ricky Gibson. Woo! Towering backdrop. Another tag on David Schultz. Rick in. Man, he was caught right up at the throat line with that leg. Schultz went way up in the air and clotheslined him with a leg. That's the only way I know to describe it. Schultz, front face lock, holds him until Condrey drops on him with a leg. Kind of won, and that's all. Not even quite that. Referee counting on Condrey for choking, I believe. Over the shoulder goes Condrey, and Rick tags Brother Robert. Robert, who in a previous encounter with these guys had his head severely busted open 2 or 3 places. So he has no lingering love for either one of them. Robert just crushing Condrey. Watch him, though. Dennis has been around. Robert nails him again. Stomps on him. Robert telling Schultz, come on in here. You're the one I'm looking for. Robert asking the referee to please get out of the way so he can get it on with Schultz. Here's David finally in the ring. And Robert blocks that right of Schultz and nails him. kick. Rick and Robert teaming it together. Rick rattling with the right hand. David's over at the rope, so Rick is not going to get any pin, but he is administering some punishment. Wow, and Schultz's head rammed into that post. Robert going after Dennis Condrey in the ring. Backdrop. Schultz with Rick. Robert with Condrey broken up now by the referee, and Rick and Schultz going at it. Schultz, where Rick had nailed him into that ring post. He busted his head open, so he's feeling a little bit. Robert gets a crack at him. Crowd loving it. Rick Gibson continuing to pile it on Schultz. Tells his brother, get ready. Slams him in. He doesn't even go for a count. He just picks him up and tags Robert. Wants some of that hide. Rick Gibson still putting the punishment on, or rather Robert Gibson on David Schultz. Robert loving this. He lost a little blood from David and Dennis, and he's happy to see the same thing being paid back to Schultz. Robert dropping the elbow on David, and Dennis from the outside. Rick pushes the referee back and fires a series of about 6 rights, while Robert staying with David Schultz. Robert is thrown across the ring. Oh, the poor referee, Calhoun. He was knocked flat. Count of 1, 2, 3, and he got him. Seven minutes, 39 seconds. Wait a minute. He's holding up Schultz's hand. Rick saying, what are you doing? 7:39. The hand of Schultz was held up. Referee Jerry Calhoun, who really took a shot when Schultz threw Robert across the ring. Boy, I don't understand. He just must have been addled. Robert absolutely had him. Rick Gibson furious, and I don't blame him. He pinned him.
Was the situation in there, Dave? Pretty obvious why, too. He took a real blast, man, and you can say any kind of comment you want. I kind of concur with the CWA in this situation that you cannot, I mean, you know, it'd be, you'd never have a decision to a match in a lot of matches. It'd be weeks and weeks and weeks. So the decision stands. You saw what happened. The Gibsons know what happened, and so that's the way it was. But it's an illustration of, I think, that makes the point in terms of using videotape. Maybe someday, not right now.
Okay, we got more action. We're going to get back to it right after we take time out for this. We got action that took place between handsome Jimmy Valiant and Paul Ellering. That's quite a pairing at least. I want you to take a look at some of that highlights of that big action.